I've used a lot of tools over the years. Some of them instantly made sense, others not so much. But these 13 here surprised me in a good way. Some of them seemed gimmicky, cheap, or just useless, but I was wrong. And if I lost all my tools today, these are 13 tools that I would actually buy again, and I would never have guessed that. And starting off at number one, we have one of the biggest gimmicks of them all, or so I thought, the Wera screwdrivers. These screwdrivers are phenomenal. People love them. I personally love them. I have a bunch of different brands. These are the ones I use. The part that I thought was gimmicky about them is actually the part that I love about them the most. And on the tip here, you can see the etching, which is the laser tipped etch. And I thought, that can't be real. And this was before I had any Wera tools and knew that they just made goated tools. But we can take this little device screw here, just a little tiny guy, okay? These are not magnetic at all. So we can put this down and it's not gonna pick it up. It's not even gonna drag it. But if we go ahead and slide this in here, not only will it hold the screw, but if we go ahead and grab the screw, it will go ahead and turn. And we can go just out vertical before it actually falls out. Now that's actually insane. And what that means is it's going to have a better bite on your screw. That means less cam out. That means you can work with screws that are more stripped out than you could with other branded drivers. And personally, there's a bunch of other features about this screwdriver that I love, and there's a reason why I use these daily. This one here is for hot work, so this one doesn't have significant wear on it. I like to keep the integrity of this one good. Just to show you one that's been used for probably about 3 years now. This is my daily beater, and the wearing on this one is pretty significant. It's probably time to get a new set. However, these are also very inexpensive, especially when you compare them to other high quality brands, especially American made screwdrivers. The same set right here would cost you about $70, where the Weras for a set of 5 cost you about $35 to $40 for the complete set. High quality, very inexpensive, and they have a ton of different options. These are their insulated drivers, which is insane. You cannot get American made insulated drivers for cheap at all. They're very, very expensive. However, you can get them insulated, you can get the regular version, you can get stainless, and you can get insulated stainless. Then it goes beyond that, and they even have security torques. They have legitimately any type of screwdriver that you need. That's one of the things that I absolutely love about Wera, is that they make all of their options available in everything you could ever want. That part about it is awesome, but my other favorite part is how they look and how they feel. Now, you might think they look strange. Personally, I really like the color. I like the brightness, the shape. It's a lot different than what most people have. It makes it easy to tell that it's mine. But also the shape isn't just strange for looks, it also fits in my hand better. These just feel much better in my hand. They're very ergonomic. And you can see when I close my fingers, they each land on a gap, and there's actually like it's molded to what my hand fits. This is what my hand wants to hold versus the regular thicker shaft of a Klein, where it's a lot thicker. These just fit better in my hand significantly. They're also lighter, which means you have to carry around less weight in your tool bag, in your pouch, and in your hand when you're actually using these. So there's less fatigue, and it's a lot thinner up front here, which is really nice. It's just easier to manipulate and maneuver. But I love these drivers a ton. Dedicated drivers, the best of the best. I have pretty much every other brand other than PB Swiss. I've used them, and they were good. Personally, I know people absolutely love them. However, the price tag on them is also significantly more expensive, where the Weras are incredibly affordable. And if I went through a pack of these a year, it wouldn't be a big deal, but I don't. They do last for quite a while. This one here has been really abused. They clean up super well. You can see it's not got that much of a difference, but when you look at the insulation and stuff here, you can see it's pretty beat up. It's cut down quite a bit, and the insulation, the integrity on it isn't great. However, that's why these are used as my daily beaters. I thought this was a gimmick before I got them. And I now understand that they're the truth, especially when it comes to what these are for. The tool should do the thing that it's supposed to do the best, and then have features that make doing that easier. These are screwdrivers, and they drive screws well. They get a really good grip. They're very strong. And I mean, this is just ridiculous. Like I've tried this with a lot of other drivers, and the only other driver that could do this, of course, I'm going to butcher it. The only other driver that could do this was the Crescent diamond tipped screwdrivers, because they have the same hold function from the diamond tipped tips, but they're also not that much less expensive. I think it's about $10 difference for the set, and the quality is just not the same. So when you could get the Wera very easily for just about the same price, it doesn't make sense to go with the Crescent. I do like the Crescents. However, this one here just fits in my hand perfectly. I love that they have every option. They have the stainless, they have the beaters. Their beaters are phenomenal. They're fantastic. And so I can actually have every driver in my bag be Wera. It's not overly expensive. It's actually very, very affordable, especially when you compare it to American brands. And the quality is top notch. Another Wera tool, one of my favorites that I was like, there's just no way this can work. It seemed gimmicky and cheap. These are very inexpensive, but these are screw grippers. And these are different sizes. So the yellow takes the bigger shafts and the red takes the smaller shafts. I got them. I was like, there's no way this is going to work. But man, do these things work, and they're phenomenal. So we're going to use the yellow because this is an insulated driver. It's got a larger shaft to it. We'll go ahead and put this screw in here, and I'll show you how it works. Basically, these go on any type of shaft that you want. So not only screwdrivers, but also Allens. They also go on things that you can put on your impact. And it just makes screws that are hard to reach or hard to start so much easier. I don't use these every day, but once or twice a month, these save me not only a lot of time, but more so a lot of headache. That way, if you're reaching into a cabinet and you can't get all the way back there, whatever it is, you're able to throw this on there and just save yourself the 20 minutes. And more so than that, the frustration. So it goes on the screw. You can see where it's pinching it right there. And then from there, you get it started. And then you can just pull this back. Obviously, it's not threaded into anything, so it's going to fly off. However, then you can just move this back, and you can either keep it on there or you can take it off. But these live in my bag, and these save me a lot of frustration when it comes to reaching hard to reach fasteners, different things like that. And they work for just about anything. They're incredibly versatile, inexpensive. They're small. They don't get in the way. These sit in my bag, and I never think about them until it's time for me to use them. But for the price and for what they do, it's well worth the money to have something like this that can go on just about anything I have and save me a ton of time and frustration. Coming in at number 3, we have the Crescent wire strippers. Every brand makes a version of these, okay? Very inexpensive, like a nicer set of inexpensive strippers that are thick. When you think of these thicker strippers, they're supposed to be higher quality. They're supposed to be better. And while there are better strippers out there, the Knipex forged wire strippers are my favorite. They're also like 3 times the price of these. But the thing that blows me away about these is how well they strip. I'm telling you, when I got these, they actually click when you strip. And I thought it's got to be nicking the copper, but it's not. I've layered it, I've staggered it, and I've looked at it, and like every single time it's good. But we'll see if you can hear this. I mean, it's the perfect strip every single time. But we'll go ahead and throw another one on there. And it clicks every single time. And I looked at it. There's not nicking the copper at all. I think it's actually clicking together. However, they just strip better than any other stripper that I've used, pretty much period. And for the price point, that's ridiculous. Obviously, this is a wire stripper, and that's what you want it to do the best is strip. The cutters on these are okay. The Knipex wire strippers are much, much better, but they're better than every other brand. These are probably just a little bit better than the Kleins, the traditional Klein strippers that like everybody has. That's just the thinner set of wire strippers. Everything else is pretty much common. It's pretty much the same. I do like the handles on these a lot. This black is a texturized rubber. It's got some stippling on there. It feels really good in my hand. They're not slipping. And I really like the notches that are right above where your thumb goes. They're pretty significant, not overly so that you can't get this in your bag or in your pouch, but there's not a lot of slipping. Like you actually have something to grab onto, which is nice. They feel good, and then they have the thicker head to them as well, so you can twist wires together. Not as thick as a set of linemans. I still definitely prefer to use my linemans to twist. However, some people still use this style, either for the Knipex version or for the Klein version that's thicker. But the stripping on these is just absolutely phenomenal, and it really blew me away. I can't stop talking about this set of wire strippers, and there's a reason for it. For the price range, this is what you want. If you're picking up a new set of strippers soon, check out these ones from Crescent. These are an absolute gem of a set. They just strip better. At number 4, we got a big one, the TR-LC. I've never liked tool rolls, just not a tool roll guy. They've never made much sense. However, Veto made one, and I got my hands on it, and I absolutely love it, okay? I'm not gonna go super in depth with this because I could spend 30 minutes on this, and I actually already have done a video on this, so I'll tag that at the end for those of you who are interested. However, I'm just gonna cover a couple of the features that I love about this bag. For one, it's a very big tool roll, which is nice. You get to carry a lot of stuff, but it comes with this handle here, which is nice. And then it also comes with a shoulder strap, so you can actually carry this well. But if we unbuckle these front 2 buckles, go ahead and open this up. One of my favorite things, one of the cool things, is these see-through pouches here in the middle are triangular. Now that's cool, but more than being cool, it helps the tool roll up. It makes it a lot easier, especially for a tool roll that's this big. They're also see-through, so you can tell what's in each bag. All of these different portions in here you can buy separately to customize this, which is nice. They all pull up, they're all on Velcro, and this is incredibly easy to clean. Now, these are also vertical. They open from the top, and that's important because there is a hook on the top side here, so you can actually keep this off the ground. It's got a hanging hook, which I love. These in the middle are awesome. They're super great for carrying like larger items. I've got some screwdrivers, pliers in here. I've got some pliers in here, and then I've got my larger sockets in here, my 1/2-inch impact sockets. Then up top, there is another pouch, and then there's another pouch on the bottom. One is a socket roll, one is a wrench roll. They're phenomenal. They have a bunch of great storage in each of these, and you can actually buy them individually as well. I'm gonna show you real quick the socket roll. So we go ahead and open this up. It's got its own dual buckles. Boom. It's got a section right here in the middle for your larger stuff. Then on the outside, it's got 2 color-coded sections. The yellow is on the other side. This side here is the orange side. But basically, it just goes down the line with socket holders from larger to smaller. So you can hold a bunch of different sockets, a bunch of different sizes. Then on this lip here, this gray piece, there is an actual lip. So you can't push these forward. The backside's protected by the little flap. However, you don't have to worry about your sockets falling out. And then this middle section here, you can carry pretty much anything you want to. Then it just rolls right up. Dual buckles as well. There's a small pocket on the front. These are adjustable, so you can smash this thing full of whatever you want. It has a handle on top as well. These aren't as robust, but this isn't as big of a system. Then in the wrench roll at the bottom here, this one here is a lot simpler. But if we go ahead and move this flap, it's just got 10 different sections. It's got the little elastic loop through the middle. This one here is pretty empty right now. I've been moving everything around. I just moved, different studio. It's been crazy, but now I live in Dallas. Everything's kind of a mess right now. However, you can see what fits in here and what doesn't. And there are 3 sections. They roll up in 3 sections. So if you want to put a set of like pliers, wrenches in here, or different sets of pliers, it goes 3, 3, 3, and that's how they roll up. And that way, if you do want to put a set of pliers in there, or 2 or even 3 sets in there, you can do that and they will fit. There's also carrying hooks on the front and back. So you have hooks here, and then we'll go ahead and roll this thing up so you can kind of see how this goes. But it's incredibly easy to roll up. It carries a ton of stuff, which I absolutely love. So we'll just go ahead and get our straps lined up here. And then from there, this just pulls over. All of these are adjustable, so you can pack this thing even fuller than I have it right now. You can have a lot less in there. Or you can take out the larger rolls, and you can even put in just like 8 of those smaller triangular pouches, which I just am a big fan of the whole system, the versatility, all the features. There's a lot more to it, and if you want to see that in depth, I'll tag it at the end. But I don't want to waste all of your guys' time for those of you who think you don't need a tool roll, because I didn't think I needed one either. Now, we got a couple small things here before we get into some more of the meat of this thing. I've got another one of my favorites coming up here. Big surprise. But this one here is the Civivi Element Utility Knife. I got one. I did not think I was going to love it, but I find myself putting this in my pocket just about every day now. It's a very small utility knife. It's much smaller than the Milwaukee or the Fiskars, obviously. The Fiskars is my favorite, but those are both great workhorse knives. This here, I would not use as a workhorse knife. It's not got a lot of beef to it. It just doesn't have a lot of beef to it. However, when it comes to like everyday carry type of stuff, I absolutely love this. The mechanism on it is great. Flicks out really nicely and you press the button to close it. Now, I did a utility knife video a couple months ago. This was in it, and everybody was like, you got to try the O knife, the O knife, the O knife. The reason for that is because to change out the blade on this, you need a tool. It's just a small Torx. But for the O knife, you don't need a tool, but in all reality, you still need a tool. So I tried it, and honestly, the feeling of it as well, it doesn't have nearly the flick on it. The designs are a little bit different. They have like the donut design. These are sleek though. They look good. They've got a bunch of different colors. I've got the green as well. And one of these is in my pocket just about every day. Incredibly small, light, not super expensive. And the one thing I really love about it is how much blade you get. That's one of the benefits of needing a tool, is that it typically shows a lot more of the blade, which is just nice. But in all reality, for my everyday carry, I'm not going to be running through blades super often, and it's just as easy for me to use a Torx as it is to use that little tool that they give you with the O knife. So personally, I took everybody's advice and I picked one up, and honestly, I just wasn't as big of a fan for that one as I am of this one. But I got one. I definitely didn't think I was going to use it. And honestly, if this finds its way into my pocket very, very often, if not every day. Now, this one is going to be a representation. This is my favorite version of it, but a couple different brands make this. It's a little 1/4 inch bit holder, okay? It's a little ratchet, and I got one originally of the Klein. I lost it. I don't know where it is. The Klein makes one. Milwaukee makes one that are a lot less expensive than this. They're not as nice, but they definitely work. However, I got that one and thought, what would I ever use this for? And then ended up absolutely loving it. I pretty much don't use a stubby anymore, because if we go ahead and take a bit out, these are just significantly less space than a stubby. Not only do they take up less space, but they also have a lot more leverage on them because you can actually pull on the arm. Now, this one here is all metal, and it's got a couple features that I love. However, I'm not kidding you. When it comes to using a stubby, this is just always a better option, unless you don't have as much room side to side. However, most of the time, you're vertically challenged and not horizontally challenged when you need a stubby. This one here, it is ratcheting. All of them are going to be ratcheting, which is very, very important, especially for those tight spaces. But you can see the little switch back here. And one of the things I love about this black piece back here, which yes, it's all metal. It's actually got little stipplings on it, so you can actually turn this with your fingers. Same thing for the other direction. And I like the look of it. It looks cool. It's got that same weird design. They put this on all of their ratchets. It's nice. I like it. This one here is probably double the price of the Klein or the Milwaukee. And so if you're not a Wera fanboy, like, you don't have to go with this one. But I do suggest that you take a look at those 1/4 inch ratchets, because they just work so much better for a stubby. I remember I was doing strut straps. I couldn't figure out what to get on it because my wrench wouldn't fit on it. And then so I ended up throwing a number 2 Phillips in, at the time, the Klein, using it, and I've never looked back since. So these, I thought they were going to be stupid and useless, but these just make much, much better stubbies than just about anything else does. You got to try them. Now, we've got one small one into the one that kind of broke my brain and that I really didn't think I was going to like. But this is the Ox Pro Tough Carbon Pencil. Again, a couple different brands make these. This isn't just a case for this one. Klein also makes one. I do not like that one as much. However, I picked this up one day and I was like, oh yeah, it's cool. And then I started using it and I was like, oh, actually, I just enjoy using this. Basically, it's got lead that comes out. It's carbon, but you can get a little bit more significant reach. It's just a little bit easier. It's pretty much always sharp. And when it's not, you can just stick it in this little hole in the case to sharpen it. And from there, you press it and you can push it back in. It's got a case. Honestly, I just normally lose pencils, and I haven't lost this one yet. Probably because it's nicer. It was more expensive. It's got a case to it. I don't know. I don't have a big case for this one. However, I just like using it, okay? I don't know what it is about it, but I like using it. And if you like tools and you like cool stuff, then you might also like using this. Outside of the reach, which is significant, there's just something about this that I actually enjoy. And I think the Ox Pro Tough Carbon version is my favorite so far, or at least that I've tried. Klein's has a bigger case, but it kind of gets stuck. And they're just not a fan, okay? This one, though, I'm a pretty big fan. You can put it in your pocket, on your belt, on your pouch. This typically just sits on the outside of my pouch. This with the clip on the inside, and then from there, it doesn't get in the way. I can just pull it out, use it whenever, and I haven't lost it. Now, I'm almost afraid to admit this, and I made fun of these for so long, probably more so in my head than I did on camera, but drill pouches. Not just any drill pouch, but specifically this Veto magnetic drill pouch. It goes into your belt or on your pocket. Personally, this is more of a belt for me because of how heavy the impact is, especially with the weight distribution. If it's in my pocket, it kind of turns a little bit. And I just was always like, man, these are so pointless because every drill or impact that I have has a little clip on it. And the carrying is okay. Like it's not significantly better than the clip itself. I do like it better than the clip. The thing that I really like about this is that it has the extra portions on it. And so not only is it versatile, like I can move it around. So if I want it in the front, if I want it on the side, if I want it in the back, if I'm in a lift and I want to push up against something, I can move this to the other side and still have access to it, which is something that I love. I work in a bunch of weird tight spaces. I do service work. So, and you guys know, you guys work in, if you were in the field, you know, there's just a bunch of different weird tight spots that you get into. Being able to move it around is nice. The thing that I really, really like about it though, it gives me a small pouch that I can use just about for anything. And so usually I'll keep a tape clipped on the front here and my utility knife. You can also put bits and different things in these pockets. These two, there is a separation. With this one, there's no separation, so it's a little bit larger. Honestly, it's just nice to be able to have my utility knife, tape, and impact all in one. It does carry a lot better than just on the clip. Personally, I like it a lot better. There's also a pass-through down here, so when you have your longer bits on there, it doesn't get in the way. I just thought guys who use these were something or another, and then I got the one with the magnetic pouch system on it. Just a fan, okay? I was wrong, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I've just really fallen in love with specifically this pouch. It does come on a bag. They don't sell these separately, or at least I don't know if they're planning on it or not. However, the bag that these come on, it comes with a tool pouch as well. And then obviously it's the middle section is the bag. I'll tag the bag. That's what you'll see in the YouTube shopping and in the description. But that's the only way to get this right now. Personally, I'm a massive fan of this drill pouch. And it actually typically sits on the front of this right here, the SC45. You can see this little portion here. The SC45 does not come with this. It comes with the portion with the tool panel on it. However, I keep all my bits in here and it's like perfect. I can move this from bag to bag. So if I have my service bag to do a small call, or if I have my like bag, my big bag that's right here, I can go in and do pretty much whatever I want with it. But I can move all my bits over with one piece. It's just phenomenal. Now another small one that's very inexpensive, and I was like, it feels gimmicky, it feels cheap. The Racketeer stud ball is one of them, like it's one of my favorite ways to find studs. Is it gonna be the most reliable? Yeah, you're gonna find screws in every wall that you need to. This works by not detecting the stud, but by finding the screws. You can just drag this along the wall and eventually it hits a place and it grabs it and it's done. The magnets on these are incredibly strong, okay? It's just a magnet ball. in a little rubber sleeve. Very inexpensive, very small. I can put this in my tool bag. I don't have to worry about whether or not it's going to take up a bunch of space like most stud finders do. This one here is very small, very efficient and effective. Not only that, but with this little grip here, you can actually, I've only done this a few times, but if you drop something down somewhere and you can't get to it, you can tie string or wire to this, lower it down, snag onto your tool, pull it back up, and it's pretty much guaranteed to actually pull your tool back up. The thing I really love about this, the cost, more so the size than anything, because it doesn't get in the way, it doesn't take up a bunch of space, it's reliable, you're gonna find screws in whatever wall you wanna find screws in, and that'll tell you where the studs are. Now, in this SC45 where I keep my bits, I also have something else that's a little special. I love this setup, by the way. I did cover this in another video. This is my multi-driver pouch. All of these go in my driver, so I can have them in a screwdriver, or I can have them in my impact. But the thing that I was very shocked about in this specific case was these Klein ProFlex bits. Now, Klein makes some terrible bits. The black ones that are impact rated break, they snap. They're not super well made, I guess. I don't understand it. I don't know. I'm not an expert in bits. But when I tried these ProFlex bits, the ones with the orange on them, they just fit screws better, okay? I don't know what it is. I haven't used every bit in the world, but transferring over from the Milwaukee, I've used some Bosch, even some DeWalt. When I tried these Klein ProFlex bits, I noticed a difference. Pretty much immediately, it was almost annoying. I don't know why, but they're just well made. They seem to last a significant amount of time. And more importantly than anything, they just fit in screws better. And that's like one of the most important things, especially for me. Stripping screws, no bueno, okay? I don't like it. I don't want to do it. This is going to help with cam out. It's going to help with just about everything that you do. These are great in an impact or in a screwdriver like I have here. I love this little kit. It's a great setup. I will tag this video that I kind of covered this whole thing by the Klein ProFlex bits, but it's definitely something worth checking out. If you're looking for a new set of bits, the Klein ProFlex bits are definitely something that are worth checking out. Another Klein thing that surprised me, I think it surprised me the most because the pass-through sockets haven't been great in the past. I had a set forever ago. The big set of Kleins is great. It's got a bunch of features that a bunch of them don't have, but the small set here actually fits in strut. And I absolutely love that. It's the only version that actually will. The larger set doesn't fit in strut. This is technically the 1/4 inch set. This set fits in strut, okay? So the extension right here, you can just plop it on to here, go from there. So we'll go ahead and grab our 9/16. So if you're running 3/8 thread, you're gonna have a 9/16 nut. This actually will fit inside of Unistrut. It's thin enough to go in there. On the bigger ones, the extension gets in the way. I love that, okay? That makes it super easy. This is all the way pass through, so you have it in the ratchet as well, which is incredibly nice. And not only do you have it in a ratchet, but you also can throw on this impact adapter, which is just phenomenal. And now you have at least 3 inches worth of threads for all of your major sizes in a very compact kit. It's also got this little bit arrangement here, which I don't care for. These aren't their ProFlex bits. However, they're there, okay? It does have all your major sizes of standard, all your SAE, God bless America. But you have pretty much everything from 1/4 inch all the way down to 9/16. And then it's also got another adapter in here for 1/4 inch. So if you have regular 1/4 inch sockets that you want to use in this, you can. Personally, I wasn't the biggest fan of these when they came out. They seemed cool, but they kind of seemed like a gimmick. And then from there, the larger ones didn't fit in strut, which was an issue. The smaller size actually does. And honestly, it really kind of shocked me because I breezed over this. I got them all at the same time. I got like 7 of them. And I kind of didn't care for the smaller set. I was like, it doesn't have all the features. It doesn't have all the cool stuff. But it fits in strut. It's very small and compact. You can actually fit this in a bag. You can fit this pretty much wherever you want to. It does connect onto the Modbox system or onto more Connect boxes, which I like. But the system in general is just sturdy. It works pretty well. The closing on it and the opening is very easy. You just slide this over. Personally, I'm a very large fan of the small Connect socket set. Now, one that I got a lot of hate for, okay? HyperTough. This, instead of Milwaukee, this is kind of what no, I'm just kidding. This will never replace Milwaukee or your like professional brand of power tools. However, my best friend just got married. He just got a house and he's like, what do I need to get? This is the kit that I sent him, okay? Super, super affordable. HyperTough has a bad history of being just awful. The new brushless series from HyperTough is very well made, especially for the price. I don't think pros need to be using it. I don't think this needs to be on job sites. But for things like this 1/2 inch high torque impact wrench, like for me, this costs underneath what the Bare tool does for Milwaukee. Now I'm already in that battery platform, but the performance on this actually isn't that much lower. It's not going to be like that for every tool. The drill is not going to be anywhere close to Milwaukee, but this drill was like $40 with a battery, which is just absolutely insane. So what I will say is for home owners or DIYers, this is actually where I've been pointing people to pretty recently. The price, the performance, the warranty, it's Walmart. You can get it everywhere. But if you're 2 hours away from home and you don't have your little battery powered vacuum and you need one, you can go pick up the HyperTough one. It's going to work. It's going to last. It's incredibly inexpensive. Comes with a battery. It's all brushless now, but the performance on it is just significantly better than it was. The reliability, significantly higher. There is a 2-year warranty, I want to say. Very, very surprising how much I actually like the new system from HyperTough, especially for the price. It just kind of blows me away. I kind of can't believe that I'm saying this, and I got a lot of slack for it, but this is a platform that I truly believe in for the price range. I'm not saying this should be walking in onto the job site anytime soon. However, like if I were in a new city and I needed an impact and I'm not going to go buy a Milwaukee or a DeWalt or a Makita. Like I'm going to go pick up a HyperTough for like $40 with a battery and give it away. It's at the end of it. Like that's just the way it goes. The performance, it's everywhere. You can pick one up today in your city because Walmarts are everywhere. Now the Knipex TwinGrip pliers really also blew me away. My grandpa has like 40 sets of these and they're just not great. But this set right here from Knipex is actually phenomenal. They have a bunch of different sizes. You can see 10, 8, and 6-inch sets right here. This is just Knipex doing what Knipex does. If you've seen their Cobras, they're phenomenal. They're my favorite set of water pump pliers. These have the same style of grip on them that they do. They grip significantly better here than other sets similar to. But in the front here, they have this opening here, which is great for grabbing fasteners that are stripped. Okay, it's got the push button adjustable setting so you can actually open it up. So if you want to grab something a little bit wider, you can open it up. This is the 8-inch set, which is what I carry in my bag. And you can grab just about anything. It's got a couple different settings, but basically it adjusts and you can actually like make this fit just about anything. The handles on these are phenomenal. This isn't a traditional grip. It's similar to the Cobras. It's got a lot of texture to it. I absolutely love these, and they just work on stripped fasteners so much better than my linemen's. So instead of actually sitting there fooling around with it, I have a tool that pretty much does it all. And not only do they do that, but they can also grab round objects, whether they're stripped, whether they're whatever. It's just got a little bit of a different angle, but these actually grip this way very, very well. So whether it's a nut or a bolt or conduit, whatever it may be, you can actually get a grip on this, and it's just got a hold of it. I didn't expect to love these as much as I do. However, these are kind of my get me out of trouble sets of pliers. And like I said, I don't carry all of these. One of these is going to make more sense for you, whether that's the smaller set, the larger set, or for me, the 8-inch set. And again, they come in a bunch of different grips as well. They have the comfort grip. I don't believe I've seen them in an insulated grip. These are just one that really surprised me because like I said, I've seen these everywhere. Then I got a set from Knipex and I was like, oh, these, they stay in my bag, okay? I don't carry every single thing ever in my bag. They've got to be important. And for me, these are an important set of pliers. They're great for all around grabbing, twisting, but more than anything, that grip in the front is so fantastic for grabbing stripped out fasteners. Now, if you want to know more about the TR-LC, you can head up here. If you want to see my daily bag, you can head up here. Remember, it's all for his glory, and I'll see you guys on the next one.